on, so I'm not repeating myself.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I'm not repeating.
All right, got it.
All righty, and we're live.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Nichole. I'm a paranormal romance author. Welcome to my channel, and we're doing another Friday live stream. Oh, and Skye's here. Hi, Skye.
Hi, Skye.
Kara, do you want to quick introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Kara Brown. I'm an urban fantasy author and I work for Other World Comics. I am here to work on my NaNoWriMo project that I fell behind on yesterday because life happened. So it's like as soon as I get caught up, I fall behind. Caught up, fall behind.
At least you get caught up. At least you could say I got caught up at one point or another. I have yet to be able to say that.
So hopefully I'll stay caught up after today. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm perpetually in catch-up mode.
Yeah, just feels like that's right. Sometimes.
Okay, so I am still working on my third novel in my series, Kiss of the Arctic. So still chugging along on that. And yes, that is my Nano project, even though I technically started it in January. So no, I'm not starting a new project for Camp Nano. I'm trying to finish the one I already started. And Carol, what are you working on a specific book, or is it like a brand new project for Nano?
It's a novella that takes place between book 1 and 2 of a series that I'm writing. Because there was an event that happened in book 1 that I wanted to expand on, but like unfortunately it doesn't really fit in very well with book 2, so I just kind of decided to make it its own novella. Are you okay?
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, for those of you watching, my dog has a noise phobia, so if you see her suddenly claw at my face, it's because there's a truck outside. What is it?
Oh, okay.
What is it? What's wrong?
Okay, and in the comments, make sure to let us know what you'll be working on today so we can cheer you on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are awesome cheerleaders like that. Well, I was a cheerleader at one point or another. I get the feeling that I am the only one that can say that, though.
I was not, no.
No, yeah, you didn't strike me as that type. Neither did Skye. So
I can't really see myself like, you know.
You're just like, no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a very short experiment for me, but you know, I tried it.
Yeah. It was more of a soccer person. I was playing soccer.
Oh God, I could never play soccer. I am such a bad runner.
I loved it.
I would get like halfway down the field and I'd be like, no, I'm done. I can't get to the goal.
I love running. In fact, like I had just finished running 5 miles when like Nichole like messaged like, okay, we're going live in 10 minutes. I was like, oh shit.
I know. I said, I'm like, I got to remember to give and the other thing that happened, I think the other reason that everybody was like, holy shit, what's happening, is because I accidentally had this scheduled on the wrong day in my like upcoming streams. I accidentally had it for the 13th because for some reason I thought the 13th was Friday and not the 12th. So when I went in and I went to like click on it to bring the actual video up so I could share the watch link, I was like, why is it saying that I'm not going live for like 24 hours? Yeah. So I had to go in and change the date and everything, and it was after the 30-minute warning mark, so nobody got the Nichole is going live in 30 minutes. So I was like, well, they'll get the notification when it happens.
I made the mistake on the Demon app of saying what hours I wanted to work during the day, so now it's kind of like you still have 8 hours of work to do, and I'm like, God damn.
No. I haven't done that because mine is just so sporadic.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, the thing is, I do do the same things around the same time every day. I try to at least, but depending on the weather outside, I might be doing stuff outside or inside, or depending on how my toddler decides to act, I might be doing more with him. Or So it's like my day is just there's no way I could schedule it. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
As much as I need to. I can't.
Well, my app is yelling at me. Do you want to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know what happened to mine. Mine went okay. All right, it's back on now.
I'm gonna lose my rank.
I got demoted. And the thing is, I actually was really busy yesterday. I did a lot yesterday. And I got demoted because I was too busy to pull up the stupid app and press the start button, I guess. Oh wow. Life happens.
Sorry, I had to take a selfie.
Right. I will count us down if you're ready to start the first writing.
I am totally ready when you are. Let's do this.
All right. We're gonna write in 3, 2, 1, and go. And that's time.
Yeah.
Woo. Man, I'm on a roll too, damn it. That doesn't happen to me too often.
Yeah, I feel you. What did I get? I got 475 this time.
Ooh, baby, someone was on a roll.
Yeah, sensory. Describing sensory is really useful for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got 308. Ah, so I crossed my 300 word mark.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so good.
I should fall out of my chair now, but no, that was 500. I didn't get there yet. Maybe next time.
I remember that one sprint where I got like 700 and I was just like, what happened? Like, what was I on?
Yeah, like, how did I do that? Because I want to do it again.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well,
I think some of it helps because like when I'm writing and I get to like a thing where I'm like, I'm not sure how to describe this, like I'll do like a return and then I'll do an M dash so that way I know I need to go back so I can keep going with the scene. That usually helps me out a lot too.
oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hey, good job, Skye.
Ooh, what'd she get?
245.
Ooh, awesome job. I'm actually really surprised with my word count because I had to kind of like get in the groove, back in the groove of things because I didn't write yesterday. I did write a little bit the day before, but I'm talking like a paragraph. So, you know, it wasn't anything like too awesome. It's like, you know, a paragraph of like maybe like 50 words if I'm lucky. So I kind of had to get back into what I was doing and where I was going with the scene and all that good stuff. So I'm surprised that I got 308. I'm still working. I'm actually still working from the little bit of pre-writing that I did at the beginning of the week, though. So I'm still kind of working through that whole pre-writing scene concept. I think what happens is I pre-write like what I know I want, like steps that I want to complete during the week, but it probably, I'm thinking it's one scene, but it ends up encompassing a lot more than one scene. I think that's what happens on why it takes me like a whole week to get through just that one little chunk of pre-writing that I did.
Yeah,
I'm not really detailed with my pre-writing. Like I don't get super detailed on like everything that's going on. I just kind of hit the main points of that I want to hit. So
yeah, I know when I do a scene, I'm very dialogue heavy in the first go, just because of the voices of the characters I hear. And then sometimes like today, like, because I've had this scene in my mind for a little while. So it's like I can already picture the scenery and the sensory that's happening. So it's just kind of like, okay, then that happens and this feels like that. And da, 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 da. So
okay. Yeah, I know when I first write a scene, mine is really dialogue and action heavy because when I'm thinking of a scene, obviously I'm kind of picturing their movements in my head. So and I know that like as the dialogue happens, I put in action in between the dialogue because I know, you know, there are times that people are, you know, walking and talking or like they move, they do things like body language mannerisms as they talk. And so a lot of that kind of goes in because I'm just kind of seeing it in my head. And that's just what the character is doing while they're talking.
Yeah,
so
that's
even though, even though my scenes are really like very dialogue, there's a lot of dialogue in my books in general. There's usually a lot of action going on while they're talking, because in my head, you don't just stand there like a robot and have a conversation. You know what I mean? So
yeah, some people do struggle with that. So it's really good that you're doing that. Like, there's a couple people that when they come to writing group, they are very dialogue heavy, and they're just talking back and forth. And sometimes we're kind of sitting there, and the guy that runs the group, like if he feels it's too dialogue heavy, he'll just underline where actually something happened. And somebody brought in like 6 pages and only like 2 things happened while they were talking. And we were all just kind of like our eyes were glazing over because it was like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, especially when a conversation seems like it could have been done in like, you know, them, you know, a couple of back and forths in the and the whole point of the conversation could have been over.
Yeah, there's one guy, I swear, like I was trying to talk to him the other day. And I was like, who's your target audience for this book that you're writing? He's like, well, the people who read the last book. And I was like, who's the fucking target audience for that book? Right?
Yeah.
And
like, who read the book?
Yeah, he couldn't tell me. And I was like, I can't give you feedback if I don't know who your target audience is. Because one minute you're writing for middle grade, and then the next you're writing for people who are fans of Tom Clancy. You don't really mix those two up like that.
No, that's, yeah, definitely two completely different writing styles. I mean,
yeah.
A 12-year-old isn't going to read the same way as an adult.
No, yeah, and he's just not willing to accept that. He thinks he's writing the next Dune, and I'm like, no.
The next Dune. That's great. That's like everyone that ever wrote like a fantasy novel. They're all like, it's going to be the next Harry Potter series, and I'm like,
no, it's not.
Yeah, I'm like, you really need to have like a break check, like.
Yeah, no, we had to have a reality check with him because it's like, well, you have to there's no good sci-fi like YA books, and I just started laughing. I was like, you don't get out much.
Yeah, right. You don't get out much. I know. Well, I know I need to expand my reading. I don't read as much as I used to. I used to read a lot more, probably because I'm trying to devote more to writing. So there's only so many places I could sacrifice, and reading ends up being the one that I'm like, well, it's either reading or writing. So which one am I doing? Yeah, I only got time for one.
Yeah, I know I have to make time for reading on my end, just because, you know, if you're going to write a lot, you should read a lot too. But it's kind of like sometimes like on the treadmill, when I'm doing my cool down walk, that's when I have like an audiobook or something on. So anyway, sorry. Do you want to?
I have thought about doing the audiobooks just because then I can kind of do it while I'm outside walking around or whatever.
Yeah,
like with my toddler, because I take my toddler for a walk now that it's nice out. Mm-hmm. So I have thought about trying the audiobooks. I've never really listened to an audiobook before, so I don't really know how I like it. But I mean, I think I should probably give it a try. I just know with Audible, they have a really limited, what is it? You get like one free ebook. You get one free ebook when you sign up.
So yeah, I use Audible all the time. So when you sign up the first time, you get to have one audiobook for free, and you can pick whatever book you want. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you can get on a plan, and you can either get like on a plan that gives you 2 credits a month, or I think there's one where you can just get 1 a month. I have 2 credits because my husband will get a book and then I'll get a book, so that way we can both get our books. But we get like really meaty books. Like these books are like 30 hours long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they do have like shorter books, like a bunch of the paranormal romance books are all like 8 hours. And you kind of have to do like a cost analysis, because if you get on like the 2 credit a month thing, then you want to make sure that whatever book you get is going to be $12 or more. Otherwise, you're kind of wasting the credit, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but I really like it. If you want, I can recommend a book for you on there if you just tell me what genre you're interested in. So,
I read paranormal romance. I read urban fantasy. I read because I mean they're closely related. I also read regular fantasy books, and I read military romance, and I'm trying to think. Like, I don't read a whole lot of contemporary.
You would probably like the Jim Butcher series, Dresden Files. Most because the story's really good, but they also have the guy that played Spike from Buffy narrating it, and he's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really good experience. I think the first book is I think that one's 8 hours long, but it's really good. And it kind of and that's not a bad book to jump into because it does have like enough conclusion at the end that if you wanted to continue with the series you could, but you don't have to. Oh, Skye said something. I get 1 credit a month, but I don't get a book that's less than 20 hours. Yeah. Yeah, Skye's on the same wavelength as me.
Right, right. Okay, okay. See, and I wouldn't have known to look for that, like, price range. Like, I wouldn't have known to make sure that the books were more than that. I would have just been like, well, this looks like a good book, and I would have just been like, I'll just get that book. And then I wouldn't have realized that I would have just been better off going and just probably buying that shorter book in ebook form and spending my credit on a longer book that would have taken me a lot longer to actually physically read.
Yeah, he does do a great job with that, Skye. Like, Marsher's, he's fantastic. He actually does a lot of audiobook narration now. But he's got great voices, and it's so good. I always like the male narrators more. Luke Daniels is also a really good narrator for books. And they both have really good range and diction. And I'm trying to think because there's a lady I like to listen to as well. I know her first name is Lisa, but I can't remember her last name off the top of my head. But the other thing that you can do when you're trying to decide if you want to get a book or not is they do a sample audio, so that way you can kind of listen to their narrator and see if it's something for you or not.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, there's.
I'm new to it. I did sign up and I picked it was, I think it was the Save the Cat for novel writing.
Yeah,
I got that one just because I was like, I've heard like everybody's been recommending it and I've been wanting to read it for a while. So I got that one and I think I'm like, I don't know, maybe halfway through it. And then it said that I could pick 2 like Audible originals or something like that. So
yeah.
I mean, they didn't really have very many options. So I kind of just picked 2 of whichever one looked half decent. I haven't even started those yet. So, and I know I think my subscription starts, I think it's like sometime in like the 2nd or 3rd week of the month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so mine's on the 22nd.
I could be getting another credit or 2 or whatever it was that I signed up for soon. So I'll be looking for new books soon. So now I know some names to type in the large world of Audible.
Yeah,
okay, all right. We've been listening to this stupid app whistling for like 10 minutes. Yeah. So are you ready to start another sprint?
Yeah, I am.
All right, I'll count us down. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and right. And that's time. I feel like that one went by really fast.
I have to use a calculator because I forgot to reset my timer.
Oh.
Or not my timer, my counter.
Oh, okay.
492. Damn, almost got 500.
Almost. I got 216 that time.
That's really good.
More, I had to figure out like specific dialogue at that. I did notice that the more dialogue I have, the less words I get in a shorter period of time because I have to figure out exactly what they're going to say and do and all that stuff. Usually I get higher word counts when it's kind of like just the action or internal thoughts in between.
Mm.
Ooh, I got 455.
Yeah.
Oh, and Word Fall just came in. Hi. We just got through our second word sprint of the stream. So Words Fall, if you hopped in during that stream, make sure to let us know how many words you got.
Ooh.
Even if it's like 2, it's fine. Still words. They count.
Where did she go? Where are you? Oh shit. Sorry, my dog is really good at hiding.
My dog is snoring on the couch next to me.
Yeah, she's like 60 pounds, but she has the ability to fit into a box like a cat does.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, so I wanted to, did you ever make an audiobook?
Me?
Yeah.
No, so like the book isn't out yet. And normally what happens when you do something like that, I mean, a bigger publisher, like one of the big 5, will be able to have the production for that book coming out at the same time that the book does. But a lot of smaller publishers and indie publishers usually have to build up the revenue for that. So you'll frequently see like, you know, the smaller folks coming out with like the paperback and the e-copy, and then they have to go find a narrator, and there's a website for that. And sometimes the narrator will have a flat rate, and sometimes they'll do a royalty share. So you have to decide. Yeah, but if you do decide to do that route, I can send you that website later, but you do have to make sure that they are Audible approved because that's where they're going to be putting the video at. So yeah, and they've got filters that you can go and click on for that. So you can say, and it's really extensive. Like I was looking at it because I was, you know, obviously I'm planning ahead and I was trying to figure out who I wanted to narrate my book. And so I wanted to make sure that they were Audible approved, and that because my character is a very like very big woman, like she's very Amazon, so she's not going to have a voice like mine. So I have to listen for voices, and then I also have to check for accents too. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So I have a question.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to put my books up on Audible, but they're dual point of view, and it's a male and a female, would I have to get 2 different narrators?
That's up to you. There is certain narrating companies that do what they call a full cast narration, and you can have them switch. But frequently, you know, if the main point of view is usually going to be from the woman, they'll have a woman do it, and then she'll do the voiceover for the guy. But I mean, that's really up to you if you decide to push through with it. I've heard lots of books where it's just a female narrator the entire time, and I've heard some where they flip back and forth. So,
okay, I was just wondering because I have 2 points of view, and then my books are usually on the shorter end, so they're usually between 50 and 60,000 words. Okay. So I already know, because of what you said, I should probably like bundle the series as an audiobook. That way it's not, you know, like, you know, 3-hour audiobook or whatever it would be at that word length. But my series doesn't follow one main character. It changes couples with each book. So I wasn't sure if that would make sense to have the same narrator through the whole series.
You could still do that. There's a one Audible series that I like. It's just called True North. It's a romance genre, and they basically have the same like guy and girl narrating all the books, but they're very good at basically changing their diction to sound like different people. And that's kind of something that you want to look out for, because if they don't have the ability to change their diction to sound like somebody else, then that's not a very good narrator. But
okay.
Yeah, but on the website that I'm talking about, they have a lot of they have their own like Audible portfolio, if that makes sense. You can listen to them, either be like old men or women or young kids or all that kind of stuff, because they're trying to obviously sell themselves to you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I mean, like I said, this isn't something that I'm planning on doing anytime soon, but I knew that that was something that I was thinking about doing once I complete the series, because I already know it's a 5-book series and I'm writing book 3 now. So that was something I was thinking about doing after I had the whole series out, you know, in ebook paperback format, you know, maybe a few months after the whole series is out.
I see a lot of
audiobook, like a series bundle audiobook.
Yeah, I do see a lot of authors, like indie authors, like they'll have their book come out and then within a year they'll have an audiobook that comes out. And you definitely want to have an audiobook, because having your book available on multiple platforms is just appealing to people. A lot of the books that I listen to right now are on Audible. So like, because unfortunately I don't have time to actually read a physical copy, and I can only stare at my screen for so long. But having the audio allows me to multitask. So that's definitely something that's in your benefit.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Skye said she wants to do audiobooks too, but it'll probably be a long time before she gets them made, maybe 6 months after the book's release. I'm assuming she's also saying 6 months after all of the whole series, because I know she's planning more of a rapid release schedule.
Yeah.
So she's probably meaning like after the whole series is released, 6 months after that. Oh, and Wordsfall said she got 9,302 words today, and her goal is 10,000. Holy crap! Holy crap! Just that's all I got. That's all I got for that word count. Because
I did 10,000 words once in a day. I was really motivated. There was this thing called a deadline, and I was like, "This has to get done."
There was this thing called a deadline. I think I have a meme up on my page about that. About it's like all you need is motivation, and then on the bottom it's like false. You need fear and an approaching deadline. I was like, that is so much truth right there. You need so much more.
Yeah, there's a Kim Chance. Kim Chance wrote like her entire second novel in 2 weeks. Like she was sharing that story on her YouTube channel. I was like, damn, girl. Like,
yeah, I know. I saw that too. She wrote 40,000 words in like 2 weeks. I'm like, holy Jesus. I don't know. And I know I think she has like 3 kids, and I think one of them is at home with her all day. And I'm just like, how did you accomplish this? I should comment or message her or something and be like, you need to go into specifics on how you accomplished this.
Oh no, she did. She did one video where she like literally broke it down how she did it. So.
Oh man, I gotta find that video. I'm going back to her page later.
Yeah. No, I think she's got twins actually. She doesn't have. Yeah, she's got twins at home.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
she's Superwoman. That woman is.
Yeah. Do you want to get started?
Yeah, it's screaming at me again, and I know we're passing the hour mark. Oh, that's her total for Nano. Oh, okay, my bad.
I'm just trying to help us stay productive.
Skye says, I love deadlines. I love to watch them as they fly past. Yes, yes, exactly. Because that's exactly what they do every damn time. All right, let's get started on the third writing sprint of the stream.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1, and write. and that's time.
Okay.
Okay, where did I start?
I got 468. 400 seems to be my.
Yeah, you're right in that 400 range today. That's good. That's like 1,200 plus words you've written today, at least, just during the stream. That's
Yeah, I just need to get it right now.
I got 230 that time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I feel like that's usually my norm. My norm is usually in the 200 to 300, somewhere in the 200 range is usually what I get.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is why I figured working myself up to 300 shouldn't be all that unattainable. I mean, I'm getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaking up to that line.
You're getting there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hit it the first time, so at least I'm, occasionally getting it. That's progress.
Yeah.
All right. And Avarice got 433.
Ooh. Oh, Avarice is high, Avarice.
400 seems to be a lot of people kind of get in that range. I know Skye got 455 the one time. So, I don't know. Maybe you're all more experienced at this writing sprint thing than I am.
I just tried to not think when I write.
That's my problem.
No thinking happening.
I need to think less and just write more. Avarice's playing hooky from a work call to write. That is a good reason to play hooky. Get words written.
I swear I don't hear a truck, so I don't know why she's freaking out. Oh, never mind. There it is.
Their hearing is better than ours, though.
Oh, now you're both here. Hi. Hi. Yeah. He didn't come for dogs, but they're here.
Aw, look at the puppies. Mine's clawing at the door right now.
Yeah, if I lock them out, they will break down the door, so I just don't do that.
Oh, okay.
This one has very bad separation anxiety. Tried to dig up my carpet once. That was not good. No, you're not getting on the desk. That is not a thing.
I just realized I had coffee here, and it's probably getting cold.
I have some coffee. I'm going to have some in a minute.
Cold coffee is so good. No, it's really not. I prefer it warm. Unless it's supposed to be iced coffee, but this is not supposed to be cold coffee. It's supposed to be hot coffee. Does anybody else struggle with keeping their coffee hot? Before I have to reheat my coffee so many times. It's ridiculous.
Hey, stop it.
Maybe I need better mugs.
Your face right now.
Okay.
You two are such a PO right now.
What kind of dogs are they?
They're both Germans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're both
calling at the door. I guess I should let her in quick.
Okay, you're done. No, you're done. We're done.
You're clawing my carpet up, you rat.
We're done here.
Your dogs do that if you lock them out? Claw your carpet?
Yeah, they try to dig in.
Yeah, mine accomplished it. Brat.
Oh, geez, Skye.
Did you start your novella at the beginning of April, or was it something that you started beforehand?
Oh, I started at the beginning of April.
Okay. So you were just doing like prep work in March, or were you finishing up an old project?
Oh, I was doing some prep work. I was doing an outline, and I don't know why I did the outline because I haven't followed the outline at all. It was just kind of like something to do.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that happens to me sometimes. Like I need an outline before I can write, or I'll just stare at a blank screen. But I deviate from the outline so many times that half the time I'm like, why did I waste my time? Like, why? But it's like I need to go through that process in order to begin writing, even if I don't stick to the outline. Does that make sense?
Yeah, my outlines are turning into these where it's just like bullet points. Like that's it. So.
Oh yeah, that's kind of how mine start. Mine start as just like bullet point scene ideas, and then I kind of organize them or try to organize them in the sequence I think they're going to go in. But somehow it always ends up changing when I actually write. So,
Skye, how do you keep your coffee by not drinking it? Like, you mean like not making it?
I don't. Does she not? I don't think she drinks coffee. Yeah, I think she. Yeah. I think that's what it was. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, Skye.
I was like, wait, like
I'll have to try that tomorrow. I'll try to keep my coffee up by just not drinking it.
Drinking it? Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, she doesn't drink coffee. What is she? Do you drink any hot beverages? And do they get cold on you before you finish them?
I'm gonna need some more water and then I'll be ready for another sprint.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, let's go.
So who all is a coffee drinker versus a tea drinker? I know that's like a big thing in the writing community. You know, like some people are hardcore coffee and other people, yes, I hear you. Other people are like tea drinkers. I'm coffee. I mean, I drink tea, but I drink coffee more often than tea. Like I'll switch to tea if I'm in the mood for something hot later in the day. Cocoa. There we go. I mean, I like hot chocolate too, but you know, there's not enough caffeine in hot chocolate for me. Like I need more caffeine than that. Oh, and Avarice says he only drinks coffee pretty much during the work week, and he does tea at the coffee shop sometimes. Okay. So, yeah, you're pretty much I need coffee for the caffeine to get through work kind of thing. That's kind of why I started drinking coffee. I started drinking coffee because I needed the extra caffeine. It had absolutely nothing to do with the taste of it.
I'm eating, Avarice. I'm eating.
Ooh, is someone snacking down? I didn't bring snacks up. Now my toddler is banging at my door. Every time. I am seriously wondering if I should be switching the time to more like Skye's time. Like, so he's down for a nap. I don't know what made me choose 11 a.m. No idea. I think it was because I knew my husband was home and I was like, well, he can keep him while I do. No, I don't know why I think that.
You're welcome, Avarice. I'm here for you. I'm a very bad influence on him. I'm the one that was like, you should write more.
We should all write more. I should definitely write more. I'm always, like I said, I'm perpetually in catch-up mode. I need to write more and clean less, even though my house is in constant need of cleaning too. Like, I feel like my to-do list somehow never gets accomplished, even though I feel like I'm always doing something. Like, how does that happen?
I did a video about that.
I really need to check out your channel because I feel like somehow your channel has all of the answers that I'm asking. It answers all the questions I'm asking. I really need to go check it out. I hit the subscribe button and I was like, okay, I need to subscribe. So I don't know when the last time you posted a video was. Maybe I forgot to hit the alarm bell.
They come out 3 times a week right now until the end of
Oh,
April.
okay. Yeah, I should definitely go back and check it out. In fact, I'm going to do that because I'll forget if I don't do it now. So
one of the things I do, and that might help you,
I'm sorry, what?
one of the things that I do is that the night before I make an idea of what I'm going to do, and I try to make these things that I can do, right? And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, but
I like that. Whatever, is that like a dry erase thing?
Yeah, it's a dry erase. You can get it on Amazon. But I make these goals like before I go to bed about things I'm going to work on, because then I wake up and I know that those are the things I'm going to work on. And then as long as I have and you don't have I've got 4 on there for each, for business, 4 personal, but you can honestly just do 2 business and 2 personal to start off with, and then as you get better with checking things off, you can start to add more and figure out where your comfort zone in that is. But that helps you be productive and not just busy.
Okay. I should try that. Although what do you mean by personal versus work? Like work would mean like the writing and the author thing, and then personal would mean like doing the dishes.
Yeah, so for me, my personal usually has to do with like my fitness goals. My family has diabetes, so I have to always be on top of that. But that's also like things around the house. Like, yesterday my personal goals were working out, getting, vacuuming the house and brushing down the dogs, right?
Okay.
And my professional ones were focused on the writing. I had to go through 50 more pages of edits. I had to make sure that I wrote 1,000 words, and then I had to edit 6 pages of another series I'm working on. So it's just, just like little things.
Right.
But the goals I put on there, I typically make sure that they're things I can do within an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't be like, I'm going to spend all day working on XYZ. Just kind of plan it within an hour, I should be able to get these things done.
The whole list or one individual goal?
The whole category.
Oh, okay. So like the whole business category should only take 1 hour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh gosh. Yeah. It takes me an hour just to hit I don't know, 500-600 words maybe.
Then make that your goal. That's totally fine, right? 500 words. That's all you gotta do.
I should have done, even though my word goal needs to be higher than that if I just want to finish. So. Like I said, perpetually in catch-up mode. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Did you want to do another writing sprint?
Yeah, I can do another one.
All right. Well, then I will count us down, and we'll do another one.
All right.
All right. 3, 2, 1, and write. Are you sitting on my keyboard, dog? Yes. Thank you. And that's time.
Yay!
Woo, another sprint down. I usually need like 4 or 5 sprints to hit that 1,000-word mark. That's actually my goal for a day.
Oh, that's good. You got it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting there. I think I'm getting close. I'll have to see like what my actual total word count is, and when I figure out what I got this time. Okay, here we go. I got 228 that time.
Oh, that's good. Excellent.
Yep. I'm right in that comfort zone. I'm going to call it a comfort zone.
That's a great comfort zone.
Yeah.
Skye got 46 words.
Hey, 46 words, especially when you're distracted, because I know how that is good words.
Yeah.
Because most times when I get distracted, I get no words. So I get completely off track.
I got 422 words.
Ooh, you're still in your comfort zone too then.
Yeah. I was trying to push it, but then I got to a scene where I was just like, I know how to write this, so I'm going to skip it.
Oh. All right. I want to see what I got total so far, just because I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
I got 982. 18 words. So close. So, the series that you're writing now, is that your first series that you're writing?
Yeah, it's my first series. I have another one I'm doing at the same time, for reasons.
Reasons.
Yeah, I remember when I was talking to the publisher about my book, and like she made eyes at me, kind of like, and I was like, I'll start.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so I just started working on the second one, so that way, when I finish with the first one, you know, not that I'm going to rapid release it, but I'll be able to be like, and here's the next one, please don't kill me.
You were like, and I'm done this series, and here's the next series. Yeah.
Next series, go.
Yeah, I should try and do that, but I don't see that happening. I mean, I'd like to do the whole rapid release thing, but it would take me a long time to complete a whole series, because my series always tend to be longer than 3 books. Like, it's never just a trilogy. It's always like 4 books, 5 books. So,
yeah.
the one that I have now, which is the first one that I published, is a 5-book series. And then the next one that I have planned, I already know is at least a 4-book series.
Yeah. Yeah, the one I have after this one is going to be 4 books, with 1 novella.
Yeah, and then with this 5-book series, I also have a novella that I have in mind that I want to release as like, I guess almost like I don't know if I want to release it as like the freebie for joining my newsletter, because it's really not a prequel, and I know a lot of people do prequels for their like free newsletter, but mine isn't really a prequel. It's just kind of like a smack dab in the middle of the series book, but it kind of takes place. It's not as ingrained in the storyline like the regular 5-book series storyline. It's like a separate story outside of that, which is the only reason why I'm making it a novella instead of just making it part of the whole series. So I'm not really sure. I don't really know what to do with it right now.
What you can do, you still can't put it in for your newsletter. You can just kind of like have it be the giveaway that happens later, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I mean, I guess it would make for a good, it would probably make for a good incentive for people who have already read like my first book, and they get to the end and it has the newsletter sign up. I mean, that would make a good incentive if they've already picked up my book it would just be, I guess, a little more difficult if they haven't read my books. Although my books can be read as standalone, so I mean, there's that. So
I mean, as long as your reader can read it and they're not lost or wondering what's going on, then you should be okay. You definitely do want to offer up some kind of free content, though. I was actually going to do that in the video today, but one of the reasons that you do want to have free content is because a lot of authors think that when they get published that, you know, a reader is just going to immediately like gravitate towards them, not realizing that sometimes readers aren't sure if, like, you know, it's a good match. So by having some kind of free content, either in a newsletter or on a website, that lets the reader be able to decide if they're a good match with you. So definitely have some kind of free content out there.
Well, I mean, I have links and everything to like free chapters of the first of the books, so they can get, you know, like the same amount that you can get if you click the look inside button on Amazon. I have that available that they can read it on my website. So because like that's all, I haven't written the novella yet, which is why after this book, after this third book is written, I plan on writing the novella. What the heck just happened? I feel like this room just like got really, the lighting just got weird on me, and I don't know why. But anyway, that's my plan after I'm finished the third book, is to write that novella so I can hopefully just use that as my newsletter incentive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that'll work better than just being like, well, here's the first 3 chapters, but it's only 3 chapters. So it's not like a complete story.
No, that's good. You're doing good with that. What's happening? Why are you beeping at me?
And it's whistling at me again. Now let me see. Skye says she has a 5-book series that's all written, but it's in various stages of editing. And the series that she's working on now, which is Damned and Dangerous, is a trilogy. And she has a duology that may get more. And now the 7-book so far novella series. Does the novella series have a name to it yet? The only one that yet named was the Damned and Dangerous trilogy, which, by the way, I love that title. That's really good. I love what do they call it when the two words start with the same letter? I know there's a name for it in English, but I have no idea what it is, and I don't know. But I know there's a name for it, and I love it. Do you have a title for your series?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Ghostwalker Chronicles.
Ooh, that's a good series too. Awesome.
Yeah, originally, like, I already had all the titles kind of planned out, but when I was talking to the publisher, they were kind of like, you've got like this tarot card theme that we like, and we want to keep going with that. And I was like, okay, fine, but the series name needs to stay the same.
Oh, okay. Okay. So your series name stayed the same, but your actual like individual book titles changed?
Yeah, so like originally, like the first book was actually called Dreamer's Touch, but they were like, that's too vague and people won't understand it. And so they changed it to Queen of Sword and Silence. And I was like, okay, well, whatever.
Well, I mean, that does, yes, I hear you. That does seem to be a popular theme right now of the, like,
the tarot card.
Yeah, like the whole court of blank and king of blank, and you know, like, that seems to be really popular titles in the fantasy genre right now.
Yeah, because there's definitely like a huge thing with like the fae. Like everybody are all over the fae and fairies and the Seelie courts, and they're all like, ee! But my thing with the Queen of Swords actually has to do with the actual tarot card for Queen of Swords, which is, if you actually look up the meaning, it has a lot of characteristics that my main character Ghost has. So it's kind of like a tee-hee pun at the same time. And and the only reason that Silence is in there is because everybody loves Silence. And like, if he's not in the title, then we've done wrong by him. And I was like, okay, whatever.
Okay, so Silence is a person.
No, he's a possessed blade. That's very sassy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of get where you're going with that because my husband reads the Drizzt series, and I know he said that character's swords, because he has 2 swords, both have names. Like he's named his swords, so that kind of makes sense with the fantasy element going on.
Yeah, I always have interesting conversations because when I was initially like putting my manuscript out there, one indie publisher sent it back to me and said that, you know, sentient swords don't act this way, and I was just kind of like, "Do you have one? Can I see it?"
Right. Like they're the authority on how sentient swords work or something.
Yeah, like I didn't know that there was a stereotype. Like
I didn't realize that you could be an expert in something like that, you know, given that it doesn't actually exist.
yeah, I was like, maybe in your universe they don't, but like anyway, I think
my world, bitch, and this is how it works.
Yeah, and they were kind of like, yeah, when you change that character, you can come back to us. And I was just like, thank you for your time. I really value your input, but I think I'll go somewhere else.
Love it.
Yeah, and they're nice. Don't get me wrong, but when you have to make an assumption like that based off of something that isn't like a concrete thing that you can go look up, it's just kind of like you need to check yourself just a tiny bit.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like there's a reason that we write in the fantasy genre, and it's because we like to make shit up. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would love somebody to say that's J.K. Rowling about her whole world or whatever. Like, that is not the way that wands work. Something like that. To be like, are you an expert on magic wands? Like, how does that work?
I'm sure in one of the rejections, somebody said that to her, and she was just like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, probably. She's like, you didn't want it anyway. You don't appreciate my imagination. Yeah, I did hear she got a lot of rejection letters.
I think she got 19. Like the number keeps changing because originally it was like she got 27, and then I hear 19. And like what really gets me is that sometimes she's the one saying the numbers, and the numbers are changing. So I'm like, what's happening right now?
Like, I don't even remember because I didn't keep them. So
I got rejected over 30 times from various agents, and I swear to God, I know they're not using the same template, but every email at some point had the phrase, "You have a lot of creativity and I love it, but I don't resonate with the story." Like it always had that phrase in there, and
that exact phrase. It's like they all go through the same course and they're taught to say that exact phrase in every rejection letter.
Yeah. Can I help you? What's going on? Why are you panicking?
Like how to reject a manuscript 101. It must have been in there.
I feel for him though, because one of my friends who has their own company, you know, when they reject like the books, like sometimes these authors come back and start arguing with them. It's like, look, we already rejected the book. You're not doing yourself any favors right now.
Right, exactly. It's like we're not going to change your mind if you like argue your point. Like that's not going to help you. It wasn't really a debate. It was an answer.
Yeah, Skye, the first number I heard, Skye, was like 27. That was the first number I heard. And then it was 16 and 19. And you have got to get off me. No.
Oh, okay. So she actually does have names for all of them. The 5-book series is Shifters and Mages. The duology is the Young Alpha Shifters. And the novella series is the Willow Creek Shifters. I'm sensing a theme with your series. I'm sensing a theme. I have a feeling that someone likes shifters. And then she said, I guess she got rejection letters. I really like this, but it's just not for us.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that too.
Right. Yeah. Especially when there's like they don't even bother to give you like what made it not for them. Like what exactly was it that they didn't resonate with? It would be nice to get, a little bit more feedback from them.
Yeah, and then what really sucks is that if they reject you, like the entire agency rejects you as well. So even if they were like, oh man, my coworker would have liked this, but because they rejected it and they didn't pass it on, you can't apply any of the other agents because because the rejection from one is from all of them. It's like, fuck.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's another reason why I think sometimes the agencies need to kind of have some kind of system where they have, you know, like this person is, these are the kind of books that they're interested in, and they're like, I don't want to say experts, but they're experienced with.
A lot of websites do actually have on there, you know, looking for this genre with this kind of theme. A lot of the good ones will have that up there. A lot of them will be like looking for contemporary romance, but they won't say what part. So you send them a contemporary romance with like, you know, whatever you have in it, but then they're kind of like, oh, you know, I kind of like this, but I was looking for more of this demographic. And I was like, that doesn't help me.
Right. Yeah. Where it would have been nicer if they were more specific when they were doing like call outs for manuscripts.
Yeah. And then of course, if they're busy, that sucks too, because they'll be like, oh, I really like this, but I already have a huge caseload. So sorry, you have to go. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's the problem with publishing in general.
There's a lot of problems with publishing. Like,
there is. I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't know how you fix that. I ain't the person to fix it.
I'm actually very curious to see where publishing is going to go in the next 10 years, because if you look at a lot of the trends that have been happening, self-publishing is becoming more of a thing right now, just because people are tired of having to go through the hoops and ladders, especially if they already have a fan base. Like Rachel Aaron, like she did her Eli Mom Press books with, I can't remember if it was Tor. I think it was Tor Penguin. And then as soon as she was done with that, she like took her fan base and like walked off, and she did her Heartstriker series, and she's been doing fine.
Yeah.
Part of the reason she wanted to like basically go her own way is because she has her own vision for the book, and publishers have a different vision, because publishers are always looking for a guaranteed sell. And if they could make a machine write the story and the book for them, they would. But because machines can't do that, they have to, you know, make people into the predictable trends that sell money. So,
yeah.
I know way too much about this.
Yeah, you can tell you've done your research. Well, yeah, I mean, and I do know, like, I know a lot of times I've heard, especially the self-published authors that you hear have done really well after they were rejected by traditional publishing for a while. A lot of times it was because the traditional publishers were like saying like, you know, this is too saturated, or, you know, like this phase is over. Like no one wants to read these kind of books anymore. And the author was like, I don't think you're right. I think that this, you know, whatever it was, you know, whatever category of story it was that they were saying was too saturated in the market, or was like out of style or whatever, like no one wanted to read it anymore.
I don't know where they're getting that info from, because I was talking to one publisher at a panel, because I was asking about these trends, and I was like, where the fuck are you getting these trends from? Because one of the things coming up is that, for example, there's the ones in New York, the publishers in New York, if they get a manuscript and it's not from somebody who's already a bestseller and it's got vampires or werewolves in it, they reject it just automatically. And you know, their thinking behind this is that they're trying to say that this is a genre that is saturated and, you know, it's out of phase in the market. And I was just like, I'm part of a bunch of groups and they all like vampires and werewolves, so I don't know what you're talking about. Like, there's definitely people who will buy this shit.
Yeah, exactly. That was another reason why I was like, honestly, is there even a point in me trying? Because that's all I've been hearing everywhere, is that traditional publishers are like, if you aren't already a published author, don't even try to give us a vampire or werewolf or anything like that kind of manuscript, because we're not going to want it unless you're already an established author. And I was like, well, that leaves me out, I guess.
Yeah.
Now what?
It's just weird. And I don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 years, because back in 2009, self-publishers were doing great. Like, they were like, you know, Amazon opened up their thing. People were finding their books. They were making income. It was a good deal. And people started kind of like stop looking at traditional publishers for pretty much the reasons that you and I are talking about. But then the publishers cut a deal with Amazon where if you put in a genre or a keyword phrase, all the books that are from the big five will come up first, and you have to literally go look for the indie authors. One of my friends was literally making his income on Amazon at the time. Like he quit his job and he was doing okay writing books. And then Amazon did that and his income dropped like 90%. He had to go find a job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
and what was it that Amazon did that made his income drop so much?
Amazon cut a deal with the big five publishers, basically saying that anytime you type in a keyword or you look for something, the big five books will always come up first versus the looking, if you have a really a very popular book, like it's hitting the matrix really good, and like that's usually what will come up first, right? Reader reviews and things like that. But then they did that, and now all the traditional books come up first. And a lot of people are actually getting kind of fed up with that because some of the books that are coming out right now from bestsellers, like you can tell, like they've stopped caring. There's one author that she wrote this book. She already had like a successful series, and kind of like after book 3, you could tell she was just doing it how she wanted, and she didn't really care about, like, I don't want to say the quality, but like the standard of how it was usually upheld. And
either that, or maybe the publisher, like she signed a deal for a 5-book series, but by the time she got to the 3rd book, she might have been like I'm kind of over this series and I'd rather start something new, but I have to write these next 2 books because I'm in contract. So that could have been, maybe that's why she was kind of like, I don't care, I'm just gonna write whatever.
Yeah, like her first 2 books, I did it. Yeah, her first 2 books, I was like, man, these are like really fucking good, right? And then when she did this other series, it read like really bad fan fiction. Like all the tropes and everything that happens in fan fiction was happening in this book. And I didn't actually think she wrote it at first. I had to double check.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was bad. I was like, wow. But the thing is that when you have a guaranteed fan base, like the publisher stops being very strict with you. So you can pretty much just kind of do whatever you want. Like that happened to J.K. Rowling, I think, in book 6.
Oh, in Harry Potter. I don't know. I feel like out of that whole series, I feel like the 5th book and the beginning of the 7th book were kind of the weakest parts of the series as a whole. Like the 6th book I didn't think was too bad. That had, there was plenty going on and enough to keep you interested and things were making sense. But I feel like the 5th book and the beginning of the 7th book kind of like dragged, and some things were like, where did this come from?
Yeah, and that's basically the editors were just kind of like, JK's already like a bestseller, and when she would come in and say, I'm not changing this, like you can't really fight with her at that point because she's the bread maker for the company. So
yeah, she really is. So I mean, they weren't going to not publish it. You know what I mean? Like, and she knew that. I mean, by that point, she knew it doesn't matter what I say. I could say no to every single thing. They're still going to publish this book. Yeah.
That's a fun topic.
Yeah, that's a deep topic right there. We could go down a rabbit hole, so let's not. All right. Are you okay with? Did you want to do one more writing? I just want to get over this 1,000-word mark.
If you want to get over the 1,000-word mark, we can do that. That's fine.
All right. Well, we'll do one more writing sprint, and then we'll do our closeouts. Just so I can get my 1,000 words in today. The first time I'm gonna hit 1,000 words in a day all week. I'm doing it today.
You're totally fine.
All right. Well, then I'll count us down, and we'll do our 5th writing sprint of the day.
Okay, ready.
Well, my 5th writing sprint. I don't know. Maybe you were writing earlier.
No.
Okay. All right.
I was ready when you messaged me. Like I'd finished running 5 miles, and you're like, "Okay, we're starting at 10." I was like, "Fuck."
Oh yeah. Okay. See, I keep forgetting that you're 3 hours behind me. Oh God, I'm so bad at this time zone. So. All right. I'll count us down, and we'll do the last writing sprint. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, and write. right, and it's time. I'm pretty sure I wrote more than 18 words.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Go me. Ah, finally. I feel like it's, I don't know. I need a good chunk of time to hit that 1,000 words in a day. And I don't always get it. I should try and get it more often. I was talking to my husband the other day that I really need to kind of force myself to just devote my toddler's nap time to writing is what I need to do. But a lot of times I end up doing other things. Like I try and like work out during that time because it's the only time I can work out, because the only other time I'd be able to do it is after he goes to bed at 9 o'clock. And I'm like, I really don't want to work out at 9 o'clock. Like I want to go to bed. So I'm like, there's too many things I need to accomplish.
Yeah, finding a good writing time is hard. It's true.
It is so hard.
What's going on with our cabin stats? Skye, what's happening? Our cabin stats have plateaued.
I got 372 words.
That's great. Good job.
Yeah, I know. I get super excited about those kind of numbers.
No, that's still good.
It's good. It's awesome for me. 15 minutes, 372 words. Shit, that's great.
Fantastic. Oh.
I feel like I'm making progress. You know, like I'm actually like getting better as I
go
forward. So that's motivating. Sometimes that's all you need. You just kind of need to show yourself that you can do it.
Yeah, definitely need to do that. Yeah, I stayed in my my 400 zone. I got 421. Excuse you.
Yep. Yeah, I think you've gotten. I bet you've gotten at least 1,500 words, maybe more. Probably more like 2,000. Because you've been getting those kind of numbers the whole time, and we did 5. So.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember what it was in the beginning. I know I had 9,000 words at the start for the total word count, and now I'm sitting at 12,000. So, like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2,000 something. Can I help you?
Skye got 235.
Good job, Skye. Good job.
Okay, so I got, what did I get total? I know I got over 1,000 words.
Yeah.
I got 1,354 words.
That's fantastic. Good job.
I'm super proud of myself right now. And look at that. See what you've helped me accomplish, Skye and Caro and everyone else. And
we're here for you.
Whoever else is still in the chat and was in the chat. What was it? Words Fall and what's his name? I can never pronounce his name right. Avrisk, I think his name is. I think those are the other 2 that were in the chat.
I think he disappeared because he jumped off of my
Yeah, I think he had to go get lunch. I mean, I don't blame him. I've been hungry for like the last hour, so I told him to get something good for me.
Yeah, he needs to get something good for me too. What am I?
Oh yeah, Words Live is like, yeah, we're still live. Yes, we did an extra 2 writing sprints, Words Fall, because I was determined to get over 1,000 words in one stream, and apparently I needed 5 writing sprints to do that. But I did it.
I'm proud of you. Good job.
Woo.
Yeah.
So make sure to put below, put in the chat how many words you got this stream. So because I mean I don't want to do everyone's math, and I don't know if everybody kind of put in what they've been getting for every sprint. So so I'd like to see how everyone did. And not just me. I know Caro did awesome. She's like up in, I don't know, close to 2,000, if not over it.
I got something.
You're like, I need to math. I can't just highlight and do the word count button like you can. I mean, you don't use Google Docs. You use Scrivener, right?
Yeah, just because I can reset that button every time. And the other reason, the other reason
I forgot about that.
Google Docs is because when we're doing this live stream and I'm in Google Docs, like the whole thing lags. Like I'll type and it'll take like 5 seconds for stuff to appear, and it just throws me off.
Oh yeah, that would annoy me. I wouldn't be able to type like that either.
Yeah. That's great, Skye. I got 980.
Right. So Words Fall got 9,411 Nano. That means since Nano started, I guess. Since April 1st, she got 9,411.
That's great. That's really good.
That is.
Yeah, your goal was 10,000, wasn't it? Words Fall. I remember reading that earlier.
It was 10,000. So she's going to hit her goal in like not even half of Nano is done yet. She still has 3 days till the halfway mark. She might need to update her word goal. And Skye got 981 today. But she plans on writing more before she goes to bed. So she'll probably go over that 1,000-word mark too.
That's fantastic.
All right. Okay. Well, as I said, I'm starving, so I'm actually gonna. We want to do our closing remarks because I really want to.
Yes, we should do our closing remarks. So, you want me to first?
Okay, you could go first.
Hello, my name is Carol Brown. I am an urban fantasy author. I am also a writer for Otherworld Comics, and I do a series of videos here on YouTube in regards to writing, marketing, pretty much writerly things in general. If you would like to see if I have writing that kind of backs up what I'm talking about, if you sign up for my newsletter, you can get a copy of a free short story, and then you can kind of decide if you are a reader for me that way. It costs you nothing. You can unsubscribe at any time. So my feelings will not be hurt.
Love it. Okay, everyone, and you all know who I am. My name is Nichole Wolf. I'm a paranormal romance author, and this is my channel, which is why I'm pretty sure you know who I am. And I have 2 books available on Amazon right now, and I'm currently writing the 3rd for Camp Nano. And that's up for pre-order right now. All of the links to all of my books is available at my website at NicholeWolf.com, and you can also find a free short story and I have some writing tips on there, and and I have my free chapters of my books on my website as well. So everything is conveniently located at NicholeWolf.com. All right, and I will be back here next Friday at 11. I'm going to say 11 a.m. If that changes, I will let you all know. But I'm going to stick with 11 a.m. right now just because that's what
Is that when you started?
Yeah, we started at 11 a.m.
Okay, because I'm like, wait, your 11 or my 11? Like,
no, we started at 11 a.m. Eastern time, which would be 8 a.m.
my
Mountain time. Are you on Mountain time? Okay, so 8 a.m. Mountain time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And if you're in a different time zone, then you can figure out you can figure that out.
Google has a thing that you can use for that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. And I will see everyone next week. Okay, bye guys.